So what I'm going to do here, right? I am actually going to substitute, right? I'm going to substitute
2 in a 1.
substitute equation 2 in 1, right? Now in equation 2, we have y 2 in 1, right? So we're going to write the 1 here. Y is equal to s squared minus x plus 3. For y is equal to s squared minus x plus 3, right? Now, for me to do the substitution, it meaning I'm taking this one here, right? I'm taking this one here and replacing this one right in the what? The y. So I am going to put here 6 minus 3x. Instead of the y, I put 6 minus 3x is equal to x squared minus x plus 3, right? Then I need to solve, I need to equal all this one equal to 0. So for me to do that, I would have moved, I would say that a 0 is equal to s squared. Then I'll move the negative 3, we can positive 3 plus 3x minus the x here plus the 3 here minus 6. So 0 is equal to s squared 3, and this will give me 2x minus 3. All right. Then I can rewrite all this one as s squared plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. We follow through so far.
They can go back one more time, please.
Sure. So remember that I needed to use method of substitution, right? So for me to use the method of substitution, we say we substitute 2 in equation 1, right? So this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So what I did was this: write equation 1 first. Y is equal to s squared minus x plus 3. Wherever we have y, this y here, replace this y by 6 minus 3, because we are replacing this y with this equation here. So we write 6 minus 3x equals to s squared minus x plus 3. Do we understand this one so far? This line here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So what we are going to do here is this: after this now, I need to equal it to 0, right? I need to equal everything to 0. So I write the s squared first, then I write the 3x. This is negative 3x. You carry it this side, you can positive 3x. The negative x will remain where it is. Then the 3 will remain where it is. That will move the 6 itself, right, to the other side, which becomes negative 6. Now the aim is to make it equal to 0. So I have s squared minus 3x minus x, right, plus 3 minus 6. Then I would have worked out that I get s squared, then 3x minus 1x will give me 2x. Now I get minus 3. So I get s squared plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Or 0 is equal to s squared plus 2x minus 3. Are we clear now? You follow through so far?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what we are going to do next, we are going to factorize this, right? We are going to learn how to factorize this one now. So the question I asked you, how do I factorize this now? What will I do? I need to factorize it. What will I do to factorize this?
The common factor.
No, we can't look for common factor here. You have come again.
Take out the x.
Take away the x. Oops.
No, take it out.
Take it out. So one thing is this: by now, all of us should be familiar with how to solve the factorized equation, right? Especially like these types. So I'm going to write s squared plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. For me to factorize this, what's the number in front of the x?
1, 2.
1. All right,
oh,
1. Right. So we multiply 1 times the negative 3, which gives you negative 3. All right. I need two numbers. When I multiply, I'll get -3. But when I add, I'll get +2. I repeat, I need two numbers. When I multiply, I'll get -3. But when I add, I'll get +2. So in other words, which numbers when you multiply, we get what?
So 3 and -1.
3 and -1. Good. So we are going to use 3. We use 3 and -1. So we represent these two here by, we say 1x squared plus 3x minus 1x minus 3 is equal to 0, right? So remember that this is what we did to find the factors in the middle here. So we are going to factorize the first two and the last two. So we factorize the first two and the last two. So for me to do this, I look for the common factor, x, open bracket, x plus 3. Then this one, common factor -1, open bracket, x minus plus 3 is equal to 0, right? Then we are going to say x minus 1. You put outside one bracket, you'll get x plus 3. All this will equal to 0. We do this with the intention actually to solve the equation, right? So I'm going to say x minus 1 is equal to 0 for the first part. The other part will be x plus 3 is equal to 0. So it'll be x is equal to 0 plus 1. So x is equal to 1. And this will be x is equal to 0 minus 3. So say x is equal to -3. But we're not yet finished. So any question up to this point, how to solve, factorize and solve. Now, it's a must. We all have to know how to factorize and what? Solve, all right? Because either you get it directly or indirectly, something like that to do, right? So we would have what? Factorize, then we solve, right? We factorize and we what? Solve it, right? So we have x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. We'd have replace the 2x by 3x minus 1x. Then we factorize it. Then we get x open bracket x plus 3, -1 bracket x plus 3 is equal to 0. Then that work it out, you get x minus 1. You put outside 1 in one bracket. So you put the x minus 1 in one bracket, the x plus 3 is equal to 0. Then what we do next, we say the x minus 1 is equal to 0, x plus 3 is equal to 0. I work them separately and I get this. Now, when I finish now, I'm going to find, so the next stage now, I'm going to find what is x1 and x2. No, y1 and y2. We know what is x1 and x2. So my next focus is to find what is y1. So I'm going to find what is y1 and what? y2. So we substitute x1 and x2 in equation 2. What is equation 2? Y equals to 6 minus 3x, right? So what do I do now? Give me a minute, guys.
So you're going to say x squared minus x plus 3 is equal to 6 minus 3x.
All right, so what I am going to do, right? We are going to find y1. Y1 will be 6 minus 3 times x1. X1 is 1, so this is x1 and this is x2, right? So this we're going to put 1 here. Then we say y1 will be equal to 6 minus 3 times, so I'll give you 3. So that will give you 3. right? Then we would look for y2 now, right? So move on, and we're going to look for y2. Oh, no, let me just do it. So I'm going to look for y2 now, right? For me to find y2 now, I say y2, it would have been 6 minus 3 times x2. x2 would have been -3. So when we work it out, this give me 6. Negative give me positive, right? So get +9. Everybody see that? They'll get what? 15. So it means therefore y2 is equal to what? 15. So how do we write the answers, right? We are going to write the answers now. So we are going to say that when we are going to say that when x1, right? When x1, you are going to x1, y1 in one bracket. Then you do another one, x2, y2 in another one bracket. So let's see now. When x1 is equal to 1, right? My y1 answer is what? 3. Everybody see that? Then x2, when x2 answer is -3, y2 answer is what? 15. So in other words, we are getting 1 and 3 as one of the answers, and we are getting what? -3 and what? 15 as another answer. And this will give you the full what? This will give me the full marks for this particular question. Okay, so let me just go over it, right? So what happens here, right? We are looking at the 2017 paper, right? We have x squared plus 2xy is equal to 5, and we have x plus y is equal to 3. So first of all, we name this one equation 1, and we name this one equation 2. Then equation 3, now we make y the subject, right? So how do I make y the subject here? We look for either the first or the second one. It's easier for you to make equation 3 from equation 2, making y the subject. So you say y is equal to 3 minus x. We name it equation 3. Then we move on to the next step. We say we're going to substitute 3 in 1, right? Why 3 in 1? Because the equation 3 is coming from equation 2, so we can't put it back in 2, so we have to go and put it in 1. So we write x squared plus 2xy is equal to 5. Now, wherever we have y, right, we replace it by 3 minus x, which we have this line here. So you have x squared plus 2x. Instead of this y, we put 3 minus x is equal to 5, right? Then we expand the bracket, so you have x squared is equal to 6x minus 2x squared is equal to 5. Then what we do, we call everything equal to 0. So you have 1x squared minus 2x plus 6 minus 5 is equal to 0, right? After which would have come to this side now, right? So 1x squared minus 2x squared give me negative 1x squared plus 6x minus 5 is equal to 0. But because we want to make the coefficients of the x squared to be positive, we multiply this one by -1. So we multiply everything here by -1. So -1 times -1 will give me positive x squared. The -1 times positive 6 become -6. Then -1 times -5 become positive 5 is equal to 0. Then after I finish now, we factorize this one here. 1x squared minus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. We use the numbers -5 and -1 to represent the -6 by factorizing, right? So we have substitute the -6 by 1x squared minus 5x minus 1x is equal to 5. Then we factorize the first two and the last two. We find a common factor x, we get x minus 5, then -1 bracket x minus 5 is equal to 0. So we group the outside one, which is x minus 1 in one bracket, then x minus 5 in another bracket is equal to 0. Then we proceed by finding the first bracket is equal to 0 and the second bracket equal to 0. We work it out, x minus 1 is equal to 0, s is equal to 0 plus 1, s is equal to 1. The other one, we have x minus 5 is equal to 0, s is equal to 0 plus 5, then s is equal to 5. After which, we went ahead now to find what is y1 and y2. For y1 and y2, we substitute the x1 and x2 in equation 3. Our equation 3 happens to be y equal to 3 minus x. So for me to find y1, I substitute x1 value in the place of the x. So we have 3 minus 1, we give you 2. Then we do the same thing for y2. We say y is equal to 3 minus x. So we substitute the x with the x2. So say y2 is equal to 3 minus 5. They'll get negative 2. When we finish now, then we put the answers together now. When x is equal to 1, our y1 is equal to 2. When x2 is equal to 5, our y2 is equal to negative 2. And that is it. Cool. So that will be it for linear and non-linear equation. So what I'm going to do here, right? Let's find h first. If h is equal to b over 2a, right? What is my b value? What is going to be my b value? Can I meet? What is my b value? Guys, talk to me now. What is my b?
Negative 8.
Negative 8, all right? Over 2 times a. What is my a value?
4.
4. All right, so this give me negative 8 over 8. Negative 8 over 8, what do I get?
1.
1.
Negative 1.
Negative 1, all right. Now, let's look for k now. Let's go and look for k. So the k is equal to 4ac, right? Minus b squared over 4a. So for me to find k, before times a, which is 4, my c, what's my c value?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. Minus the b, what is my b value?
Negative 8 square.
Negative 8 squared, right? So here we have to be careful how we write it so that we will not get ourselves mixed up. So I'm going to put it into brackets, right? So I put brackets negative 8 square all over 4 times a. What is the a value?
4.
4. All right. So when we work out this, 4 times 4, what do I get?
16.
16 times negative 2, what do I get?
Negative 32.
So negative 32 minus 64 over 16. All right. Then we put this one together now. Let's work it out now. What is negative 32 minus negative 64? What do I get?
Negative 96.
Negative 96 divided by 16. Negative 96 divided by 16, what do I get?
Negative 6.
Negative 6. Now, so everybody, I need you to focus one thing here, right? Our h is negative 1 and our k is negative 6, right? Let's put it together now. So they asked me to write the equation, right, in a formula. So look at it. They say I should write a open bracket x plus a squared plus k. We need 3 things, right? Okay, so we need 3 things. Right, we need 3 things. Yeah, we need our a, we need our h, and we need our k. Follow me, everybody, right? My a value would have been 4, open bracket x, plus my h value. What is the h? What do we get h?
Negative 6.
No, h is negative
Negative
1.
1.
Negative 1. All right, square plus the k. What is the k? Negative 6. Now I'm going to rewrite everything nicely now, right? So how do I rewrite everything? So before open bracket x, negative positive give me minus 1 square, negative positive give me minus 6, right? So this will be my what? Answer, all right? This is the answer they are looking for. So the only thing though, if you are going to do this question, supposedly they bring it, we have to know the formula, how to find the value of H and how to find the value of K. Right. So I need you to copy this question for me. Then later we want continue. We have to do the next two parts left. So just remember that for you to find H is B over 2A, right? And K is 4AC minus B squared over 4A. We're good so far? Any question? All right, so what I would do is this, right? 4x squared minus 8x minus 2, right here. Now, let's say A is equal to 4, the B is equal to -8, and a C is equal to -2, right? You are going to know the formula. You are going to find, we need A, we need H, and we need a K. So first of all, we are finding H. H is B over 2A. So this is a formula you have to know before you enter into the exams room. Formula for H is B over 2A. All right. So what's the value of B? Somebody should talk to me. What's the value of B?
-8.
-8 over 2 times A. What is A?
4.
4. All right. So when we work out this give me -8 over 8. -8 over 8 will give me
-1.
all right. So that any question up to this point?
No, sir.
And I need those who did not really understand from the first one. I need you guys to talk to me. Don't wait until when I finish, you say you don't understand, please. All right. So you talk to me now. You don't wait when I finish everything, you still don't understand. Don't do that. So let's go. Let's go and find K, right? K is 4AC minus B squared over 4A. So you need to know the formula for H. You need to know the formula for K. So before, what is my A value?
4.
For my C value?
-2.
-2. All right. Minus B, what is my B value?
-8.
-8, right? Square all over 4 times 4. Then you work out this one now, right? 4 times 4, what do I get?
16.
16 times -2 give me -32 minus no, this is 64, right? All over 16. Now, when we work out this, what do we get? So -32 minus 64, what do I get?
-96.
So -96 divided by 16, what do we get?
-6.
Any question? Up to this point, any question? All what we are doing is just substitution, nothing more. All right. We continue.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we come now. So we know our now. So all what we are going to do next, right, is that we come here. We continue with our story. Now, so I'll come here now, right? I will say that my age is -6. No, K, sorry, K is -6. So I'm going to write this in now. Is A, open bracket, X plus H squared plus K. Wherever I have A, my A is 4, open brackets, you put the X down. The H, our H is -1 square, and our K is -6. Follow me, everybody. Now, then negative and positive will give me what?
Negative.
Negative. So get 4, open bracket, X minus 1 square. Negative positive give me -6. So this will be my answer, right? This will be my answer for the completing the square, the first part of the question. Is it much better now? Now remember the second part, if they ask you for the minimum value of fx, they ask you for the value of k. What is our value of k?
-6.
-6. So the minimum value here, the minimum value here they are looking for, right, would have been -6. Okay, what's the next question, please?
The value of x for which fx is a minimum.
Okay, the value of x, right? The value of x for which what?
Fx is a minimum.
Fx for which fx is a minimum, right? So it's on a paper which I sent to you guys, right? So when it asks you for the value of x for which the value of x for which fx is a minimum, they also call this question is also called the axis of symmetry, right? They also ask you for what you call the axis of symmetry. It's the same thing. So sometimes they'll use different terms, right? So how do you find this answer? For me to find this answer here, I would have to go inside the bracket. Look at it, everybody. You go where you have the brackets, right? Then write the bracket, whatever you have been able to add the square. So I'm going to write x minus 1 is equal to 0. I repeat, you go inside the bracket with this one here, where you have the brackets. You take that equation without the square, they equal it to 0. Then we are going to solve this one. So this is going to be x is equal to 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1. So x is equal to what? We get 1 as my answer. I repeat, how do you find the value of x for which fx is minimum? Or what we call the axis of symmetry. After you write your completing the square, wherever you have inside this bracket here, you take that equation and equal to 0 without the square. I repeat it, right? Equal to 0 without the square. Then you write it down. Are we clear? All right. So let me ask a question. If I look for another question, this one here, right? So what we do here is a is equal to 2, b is equal to -3, c is equal to 1, right? Then what would I do next?
You have to find h and k.
Okay, so we find h and k. What is my h?
That would be b over 2a.
B over 2a, all right? So what is my b value?
-3.
-3 over 2 times 1.
2.
2, which will give me,
-3 over 4.
all right, good. Now let's go for K. What's the formula for K?
4AC take away B squared over 4A.
4AC take away what? B squared over 4A. Yes. Then what do I do?
That would be 4 bracket 2 bracket 1
4 bracket 2 bracket 1. Yes. Minus
take
B.
away
Yes.
negative 3 square
Negative 3 square. Beautiful.
over 4 bracket
Over.
2.
All right. All right. So what do I get now?
8 take away 9 over 8.
8 take away 9 over 8, which give me
Negative 1 over 8.
beautiful. All right. Now I'm going to substitute this in the formula here, right? So our A, we need our A, right? A is what? What's our A value? 2, right? So we come here. Our A is 2, right? X plus the H. What's the H value?
Negative 3 over 4.
Negative 3 over 4 square. Plus the K. What is the K value?
Negative 1 over 8.
Then what we do here, we can modify it a little bit more, right? So this actually, if you want to write it nicely, it have been 2 brackets x minus 3 over 4 square, right, minus 1 over 8 as your final answer. Because a negative plus will give you negative, a negative plus will also give you negatives, right? So remember that this is square. So it'd be 2 bracket x minus 3 4 square minus 1 over 8. Agree, everyone? Thank you. Now, how do we find the minimum value? So what's my minimum value here?
Wait, sir, can you do that over, please? That part.
Which one?
Is the minimum the K value?
No, the minimum value is the easiest of all. So the minimum value now is the value of K, right?
Okay.
So the minimum, so what's the value of K?
Negative 1 over 8.
Negative. So the K here, so K here is equal to negative 1 over 8. That's your answer. That's the minimum value, right? Minimum value. Is that okay? All right. Then they ask you for the value of x at which minimum occurs. It's the same thing as the axis of symmetry. So all what you have to do here, you go inside the complete the square, wherever you have the bracket. What do we have in a bracket?
X take away 3, 4.
Right. So it would be x minus 3 over 4 is equal to 0. Right. And we are going to work out this one now. What do we get? So we put x equals to 0 plus 3 over 4. Right. So this one, when we work it out, what do we get now?
3/4.
3/4. As simple as that.
Sir, above the one above it.
Yeah, what about it?
You can do it back, please. Not the
We-
minimum value, the one above.
Not the minimum value. You mean this one here?
Yes, sir.
The complete the square. No, but we find h, right? We find h and we find a k. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So you are substituting the a, h, and k inside the formula. So what you are going to do for me? Okay, let's try that again.
No, sir, just the multiply part.
Negative. Okay, negative, positive, right? Negative times positive will give you negative.
Oh,
And negative times positive also give you what? Negative. So instead of being plus here, change it to minus, right? And if instead of here plus, then change it to negative here. You see that?
yes, sir. I thought you would multiply everything
No,
by
no, no, no.
2.
No, you don't do that. You just, because you write it in that format, right? You just add this way you have to write it.
Oh,
You get that?
yes, sir.
Okay, great. This stage, the first stage, we call it acceleration, right? Acceleration. This stage 2, we call it constant speed. Constant speed, right? Stage 3, we call it deceleration. So write it down. The first one going up is acceleration, constant speed, deceleration. So when you are going up, right, you are accelerating going up. Then this one here, it was going at the normal constant speed. Then the next one you are going to get is what? The acceleration. We have that. Now, I need you also to notice that they say during the first stage of the journey, the car increased its speed from 0 meters per second to 12 meters per second in x seconds, accelerating 0.6 meters per second square. So for me to work out this, right? For me to work out this, first of all, we will look at the formula for acceleration. Acceleration is equal to V2 versus V1 over T2 minus T1. I repeat, acceleration formula is final velocity minus the initial velocity over final time minus initial time. You have to go over it again. Acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity divided by final time minus initial time. So this side here is V1 and this one will be V2. Follow me, everybody, right? Now, the other be T1 and the other be T2 for the first stage. So they gave us the information, right? That during the first stage of the journey, the car increased its speed from 0 meters to 12 meters per second in x seconds. We don't know that x, right? In acceleration of 0.6 seconds. So first of all, they gave me the acceleration. So I'm going to substitute the values to find, they say calculate the value of x for 2 marks. So how do I do this? First of all, all of us have to know this formula, right? Acceleration here formula, after which we can use it to find the value of x. So we are going to say 0.6 meters per second square. V2, my V2 is 12 minus 0, which is V1. Then my T2 is x. This is my T2, right? So it'll be x minus T1, which is 0. So I'm going to get 0.6 meters per second is equal to 12 over x. And I want to find what is x. So I put this over 1, that will cross multiply. So I get 0.6 x is equal to 12. So x is equal to 12 divided by 0.6. Now let's work it out. What is 12 divided by 0.6? What is 12 divided by 0.6? Come again.
20.
20. So this will be 20 seconds, right? So x is equal to 20 seconds. So what you have to do, first of all, you have to establish the formula for acceleration first. Acceleration formula is V2 minus V1 over T2 minus T1. We substitute the values of V1, V2, then T2 to find, then they were given the acceleration also, right? So when we work it out, we get 20 seconds. All right, can we look at question, the next one now, right? What they ask. What is
the grade?
What is the gradient of the graph during the second stage? Explain
right
in one sentence what the car is doing during this stage.
Okay, so can somebody tell me, do you remember the formula to find the gradient of a line?
X squared take away x1 over y2.
right?
Sir,
So,
X2 take away X1 over Y2 take away Y1.
right, so the gradient, so I'm going to do something here. I assume that I'll put here A and I put here B, right? And I want to find so A, the coordinate of A will give me, we know that this side is X was 20, am I right? So this will give me 20 and 12, right? And my B will give me 25 and 12. We say the gradient formula is Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. So when you work out this will give me X1, Y1, X2, Y2. So my Y2 here would have been 12 minus Y2, which is 12, over 25 minus 20. So we get 0 over 5. What is 0 over 5? What is 0 over 5?
Zero.
0, all right. Now, what did they say? What's the gradient of stage 2? So the gradient of stage 2, the gradient of the graph during the second stage would have been 0. Now, but what you do is this, they ask you to express in one sentence. Normally, wherever there's a constant speed, right? We are going to say stage 2 as a constant speed, right? So for you to write in a sentence, stage 2 as a constant speed, right? Constant speed. Stage 2 as a constant speed, right? Where the gradient is equal to 0. Once there is a constant speed, the gradient is equal to 0, or acceleration is equal to 0, the same thing. So once you have a constant speed, acceleration is always going to be 0, or the gradient always going to be 0. Are we clear? Okay. Is that clear enough? When we are doing speed time graph and it asks you for distance is equal to the area of the indicated shape. So here they ask for the third stage, right? So I want to find the distance. The third stage is this, right? What shape is this third stage?
Triangle.
Triangle. What's the formula to find the area of a triangle?
Half base times height.
So it'll be half times the base times the height. So it'll be half. What is the base here? So you have 25 to 60. What would that be the base? What will you do?
85.
No, it's not 85. Think about it. From 25 to 60, what do you do?
Sir, 95, add it and subtract it by 180.
No, you can't do that. It's not just this thing. So remember that this side is, you start from 25 here and you end at 60. What's the difference?
35.
35. Oh, good. So it would have been time 35. The base would have been 35. What will be the height here? What will be this height here?
25.
No, look at it carefully. Look at the height. What is the height? Just take your time. What is the height?
12.
12. Thank you. Right. So 2 goes to 1 time, 2 going to this is 6 times. So we multiply 35 times 6. 35 times 6, what do I get?
210.
210 meter, right? So the distance in the third stage will be 210. Now, just remember now that if they had asked the distance of the entire journey, that means we are going to use the area of a trapezium to work it out. If they ask you for the distance of second stage is a rectangle, so you use length times width, right? And they ask you for the distance for the entire journey, they are going to find the area of a trapezium. They'll work it out. All right, copy that. Really, that it wasn't that as bad as you thought, right? Okay, we move on to, so if this side is A, right? If this side is, let's say, 20 degrees, this angle is going to be 20 degrees because they are in the same segment. Yes, continue.
Angles in a semicircle is 90 degrees, right angle.
All right, so angles in a semicircle is 90 degrees, meaning this is the diameter, right? It's always diameter. So the angle opposite the diameter is always 90 degrees. So it'll be 90 degrees. Follow? If you draw it this way and that way here, and you have this, that also be what? 90, the same way. All right? Good.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's go next. What them say next now?
Opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees.
So this is what we call a cyclic quadrilateral. Cyclic quadrilateral meaning a four-sided figure which touches all the four sides, right? Now, opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180. So the A plus the B will give you 180, and the C plus the D will also give you 180. Okay, good. So what they are saying here is this: if, for argument's sake, if this side is 80 degrees, this side would have been 100, right? Follow? Because when you add the two, you should get what? 180 degrees. Yes, let's continue.
The perpendicular from the center to the chord bisects the chord.
Okay, so they are saying that if this is a radius and this is a chord, the radius will bisect the chord, right, into two equal parts. So that would have been like a perpendicular bisector. Okay, next one.
The angle between a tangent and a radius is 90 degrees.
Right, so this would have been the tangent line, right? This is the tangent line, and this is the radius. When a radius and a tangent line meet, they form 90 degrees. Yes, next one.
Tangents from a point outside a circle are equal in length.
So what they are saying is this: tangents of the like this, right? When they are equal in length, this side and this way, they are equal. Yes, next.
Alternate segment theorem.
Right. So for the alternate segment theorem, like this angle here, it should be equal to that angle here. So this side. So normally what I do, I say that you are the corner here and you're looking up, right? So you're going straight across, and this one you do the same thing, but you're going straight across, right? To see your destination. That's how I look at it. So it's easy for you to what? Remember the alternate segment theorem. So this 8 theorems we have here is what you would have applied in most of the CXC questions in order to survive. So we have to know them. So what I'm going to do, I will take I'll screenshot this and send it to the various groups, right? So that you can have that. Then you just try to memorize them also. Okay. All right. So we don't. So can we go back to the question? So look at this again. They ask you to find angle XYZ, right? Angle XYZ meaning the opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral, right? Opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180. So if this plus this will give me 180, which will be 180 minus 64, we give 160. We say because opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees. Okay, let's go to the next question. Angle YXZ. They want to find this angle here. They want to find this angle here, right? This angle. What is this angle? Okay, JJ say it's 23 degrees. I agree. That should have been 23 degrees. Yes. What's the reason? This angle and this angle, what anybody remember? What is it?
Sir, because the line will go across the circle, and once you go across the circle, the angle there is somewhat 19 degrees.
No, this is alternate segment theorem, right? This angle here, look at it. You see this angle here? And this angle, look at it. Remember what I did with you guys earlier on? This one with that, look at it. You see that? So this angle you see here and that one is what we call the alternate segment theorem. So in the alternate segment theorem, when you add, right, so this angle and this, so you see that because angle ZYV is alternate segment to angle YXZ. What is the last question? Question number 3. OXZ. This angle here, easy. What is that? Oh no. Is the number here 20? Is 20? What is the number here? What do you have? No, that is easy. This name. Angle at the center, angle at the circumference. Remember, angle at the center, angle at the circumference. So if this side is 64, right, you double up that, what do we get? Oh no. OX, they want to find this angle here. So this will be, when you double this, what do we get? 128. So before we answer the question, right, we have to find this angle first, right? So this will give me 180 minus 64. 180 minus 64, what do I get? 116. So for me to find angle OXZ, it would have been 180 minus 116 divided by 2. 180 minus 116, what do I get? Oh no, that should be 128. Oh no, that should be 128.
Sir, for this, the
Yeah,
center
I see it,
part,
right? I'm just seeing something here. Hold on. This one should be 128 here. So this should be 120 what?
128.
You double that, you get 128, right? So first of all, before I can answer the question, I need to find that answer first.
So would you do the 128 and then like subtract?
You subtract, right?
Oh.
Right, because we want to find that one. So first of all, for me to answer that question, I needed to find what is X, O, Z first, which will be 2 times 64. Will give me 128, right? Then for me to find angle OXZ now, we are going to say that 180 minus 128 divided by 2. So 180 minus 128, what do I get?
52
52.
52
over 2,
over 2, which give me what?
26.
26.
26 degrees. Mhm. All right, guys. Now, can we move on now?
Sir, can explain, go over it, please? I'm not really
Which,
understand.
which one?
Sir, all of them.
All of them? Why, you dose off?
No, sir, when I look back on the something where so take a picture of and I try to understand.
No, because, okay, one of the things before you can do anything, right, you have to understand the theorems first. If you don't understand the theorems, you will not be able to understand anything. So let's see first, right? Wait, I'm coming. Let me just pause that. So when you add the x plus 48 plus 56, you give you 180. We add the 48 and the 56, you get 104, right? So x plus 104 equals to 180. So x is equal to 180 minus 104, we get 76 what? Degrees. Good job. All right. The next question, the distance from port city P to Queenstown Q is 220. So P to Q is 220. We put the 220 here. Then the distance from Q to Railway is 360. So we put the 360 here. And I want to find the distance from R to what? P. How do I find the distance from R to P now? What will I do to find the distance from R to P? What we have here, is it a right angle triangle?
No, sir.
It's
No,
not,
no.
okay, so if it's not a right angle triangle, that means you can use Pythagoras theorem, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you can use Pythagoras theorem, which formula comes to your mind right now?
You have two sides, they can use the cosine rule.
We use the cosine rule, right? We are going to use the cosine rule, of course, cosine rule. So if you're going to use the cosine rule, we label the sides, right? Here be small q, here be small p, here be small r. So it'll be what? Q square is equal to r square plus p square minus 2rp cos of angle q. So the q, you put rp square, the r, we put 220 square plus 360 square minus 2 times 220 times 360 cos of 56 degrees. We have that. So we are going to find what is 220 square, right?
48,400.
Come again, come again.
48,400.
48,400 plus 360 square. What do I get?
129. Yeah. 129,600.
Now let's multiply these three. 2 times 220 times 360. What do we get?
$158,400.
158,400. All right. Then give me cos 56 to trade AP.
0.559.
0.559. Right. So it'll be, then we add the two now, right? So let's add up this one here. Add these two. What do we get?
178,000.
178,000 for this part.
Yeah.
Okay. Multiply these two for me. What do we get? So 158. Yes.
Sorry, what?
Yes, I'm listening.
Sorry, why we never use the shift sign?
No, we are not finding angle.
Okay.
In the next question, you would have come up with that. When you multiply these two, what do we get? Now remember that thing, before we move on, right? Remember that thing, we are finding RP, right? So we have side, angle, side. You want to find the next side. There's no matching pair here, so here we have to find this. We have to use the cosine rule. So you're not finding the angle, you are finding the side. The shift sign is when you are finding the angle.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let's multiply these two. When you multiply these two, what do we get? When you multiply these two, what do we get? Anybody can help me? 158,400 times that. What do we get? Everybody going to bed?
88,545.6.
Okay, 88,000
545.6.
and 6. Okay. Now, minus these two for me now, please.
Sorry, it's supposed to get a
89,000.
negative?
Come again, 89 more?
89,000.
Yes.
454.4. 454.4. Yeah.
454.4. Okay. So you're going to find RP squared. Remember, it's RP squared. So RP now is got to square root of the same thing. 89454.4.
$299.08.
Yes, that is it. So here now, I will need to put this figure at where you have the P, right? 299.08, right, kilometer. So we good so far?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the last question on this, they say, determine the bearing of R from where? So from P, you want to go to R, right? We want to determine the bearing from P, you want to go to R, right? From P, you want to go to R. So you start from the North Pole, I repeat. You start from the North Pole until you reach the R line. Everybody see that? So one part of the journey, we know that one part already, which is 132. So we need to find out what would that be the missing side there, which would be this theta, right? Everybody see that?
Yes, sir.
So for me to do this one, all right, all what I need is this, I need to find this angle here. Is anybody can help me to find this angle P? What formula, which method can I use to find angle P? Anyone? Think about it. If I give you this, look at it. If I give you this, and this angle is for this side, right? And this angle is for that side, what comes to your mind?
Sorry, trigonometry?
Yeah, but what type? Remember that it's a non-right angle triangle. We would have come here, right? We are using the sine rule, right? So which angles are we using? Anybody can tell me? We are using the sine rule. Which angles are we going to use?
Opposite and hypotenuse?
No, I say which angle?
RPQ. What do you mean by that, sir?
No, yeah, it's right. So we are using P and what? Q, right? We are using P and Q to write the form. So we are going to say P over sine P is equal to small q over sine Q, right? what is my P? We're going to put 360 over sine P, which we don't know, is equal to Q. Q is 299.08 over sine 56, cos sine of 56. Then I'll put 360 over sine P, 299.08. What is sine 56, by the way?
0.829.
0.829. So 0.829. Then what to do? We cross what? Multiply. So we get 360 times 0.829 is equal to sine P times 299.08. Let me write it back. Sine P times 299.08. All right. Now let's multiply these two. What do we get?
298.44.
298.44. Right. Is equal to sine P times 299.08. So I say 298.44 divided by 299.08 is equal to sine P. Cool. All right. So let's work out this one. Now what do we get?
0.997.
So we are going to get to 0.997, right? We get to a 0.997. All right. Is equal to sine P. So angle P is equal to sine inverse of 0.997. What do we get? What is sine inverse of 0.997?
85.5.
85.5 degrees. All right. So we are going to, so that means say this angle here, look at it. This angle, you see this angle here we have here. This angle here is going to be 0.85.5. Then we add it to the wall. So we say that therefore now I'm going to say that therefore, right? The bearing, let me use different color. I say therefore the bearing of R from P is equal to 132 plus 85.5 degrees. Can somebody work it out and tell me what to get, please? (132 plus 85.5), what do I get?
217.5.
217.5 degrees, right? So the bearing of R from P will be what? 217.5 degrees. Any question? Any question? So here we are giving 3, 5, 2, 4. Right. So if, let's say this is A, even for the inverse of a matrix, it would have been A inverse is equal to 1 over determinant of A times the adjoint of A. So it would have been 1 over determinant, you multiply the 4 times the 3 times the 4 minus 2 times the 5. Then the adjoint, you interchange the 3 and the 4. So put for 4 here, you put the 3 here. Then you change the sign of the other diagonal, right? We change the sign of the other diagonal. So this will give me -2 and -5. So remember, you switch the 4 and the 3, but you change the sign of the other diagonal. So here you give me 12, and you give me 10. So that means it's giving 1 over 2, open bracket 4, -5, -2, and 3 as my answer for the inverse of that. Then that will give you your 3 ones. Oh, 2 marks. We follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so think about the next question for me. Just give me a minute. So what we'll do here, I'm going to say, watch this one now. I'm going to say that if I have 0, A, B, 0 times the R, which is 7 and 2, right? I should generate, this should give me what? 2 and -7. See if you understand that statement. When I multiply this onto that, I should get back 2 and -7. And I've been asked to find the value of what? So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to multiply row by column. All right. Are you ready? If you are here, give me thumbs up, please. If you are here, give me thumbs up, because I just want you to understand how many people I'm working with right now. Okay, Demaru right here. Good, good. All right. Alicia, okay, good. All right. All right. I just want to make sure that I have people around me. So I'll get 0 times 7 plus A times 2. The other one will be 0, B, it will be B times 7 plus 0 times 2, right? This will be equals to 2 and -7. So if I should work out this one, this give me 0 plus 2A is equal to 2, right? Then 7B plus 0 is equal to -7. And I want to find the value of A and B. So I can just solve this equation, right? We can solve it like normal equation. So 2A is equal to 2. So A is equal to 2 over 2. A is equal to 1. Everybody see that? Then the other one that be 7B plus 0 is equal to -7. So 7B is equal to -7 minus 0. So 7B is equal to -7. All right. B is equal to -7 over 7. Will give me -1. So they asked me to write the value of A. My A My A is 1 and my B is equal to -1. As simple as that. Right. And if you work out the other one, the same result you get. If you try the other one, you should get back the same thing. You want us to try it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you do the same thing. You're going to write here 0, A, then B, then 0. Then here you're going to write -5 and 4 is equal to 4 and 5. So you multiply the row by column. So you're going to get 0 times -5 plus A times 4. Right, then you're going to get B times -5 plus 0 times 4, right? This equals to 4 and 5, right? So this will give me 4A is equal to 4 for the top part. Then the other bound would have been -5B is equal to 5. Everybody see that? Because this will be 0, 0. So when you work it out, 4A is equal to 4. A is equal to 4 divided by 4. A is equal to 1. Then for the other part now, it will be -5B is equal to 5. So B is equal to 5 divided by -5. So B is equal to -1. We get back the same thing. Everybody see that? So our A is 1 and our B still is what? -1. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, so the question now is this: they ask them, describe fully the transformation of M, right? I need to describe fully the transformation of M. So how do I describe fully the transformation of M, right? So that's where we want to reach now. So this one here, we are going to end up by getting, so I need to write this one for me. I'll clean the board, I will tell you something. So it was 0, right? The A value, A, B, and what? 0. So which will be equals to 0. What was the A value? 1, and the B is what? -1, and this is 0, right? So this is a matrix actually, right? So they asked me to describe what is this matrix here fully. Anybody know what to do? What do you think will be this matrix?
Sir, it's a single.
No, it's not a single matrix, but you see, we want to describe fully the transformation of that. All right, so I'm going to help you guys to understand something. Can I clean this idea?
Yes, sir.
All right, I need a space, right? So we clean this side here. All right, we clean all this side. All right, so we are what to call the base unit, right? Matrix transformation, we are what to call the base unit. So base unit is like this, right? This is A, this is B, right? So this one here is actually 1, 1, 0, and this one is 0, 0, 1. So if you put the base unit actually is 1, 0. So you put the A here for A, then the B that be 0, 0, 1. This is a base unit for matrix transformation. We call it the base unit, right? When it's on the x-axis, it's a 1, 0, and the y-axis, it would have been 0, 1. But this would have changed now. So I want everybody to observe what had happened right here. I want you to observe this one now, right? Look at this. The A was here now. So this is for A, right? Okay, so this would have been for the A. So we have 0, 1, -1, and 0. This A here, this is for A and this is for B, right? Now this will be your new A and new B. Follow me. Follow me, everybody. This is A and B. This will be new A and new B. Now, where will I plot 0, -1? Where will I plot 0, -1?
Sir, over the right side, under the
Over
bottom.
0, -1, right here, yes. So that means this. Everybody see that? So here that been your A1, right? What will be your B1? 1 and 0. What will I put?
Sir, above it.
1, 0. No, 1, 0 is not above it. 1, 0. 1, 0 would have been right here.
Yeah.
Everybody see that? Now, I need you to observe the A was here, and moved down, right? The A was here and it moved down, and the B was here, moved down. What happens?
Sir, change to negative.
Yeah, but in terms of what do you observe? In terms of movement, what do you observe happen here? It was here. Okay, look at it. The A was right here and moved right down here. You see that? And the B was right here and moved to the A part.
Clockwise.
So what? Okay, somebody says something. Somebody mentioned something. No, I'm seeing somebody mention something here. Move clockwise. Yes, I love that. It move clockwise. So if you move clockwise, what is it? What type of transformation is that? You're almost there. It's what? Rotation. So it's what? Rotation, right? So it's rotation. Everybody see that? It's rotation. Rotation of how many degrees? So it was here, the A came down to this side and the B came down here. So this is a new this here, right? It was the A was here and moved down, and the B was here and moved down to this side. So it's rotation of what? From here to here, how many degrees is that? 90, right? It's gonna be what? 90 what degrees? 90 what degrees, right? So when CXC asks them to describe fully the transformation M, for you to describe fully the transformation M, this is what we are going to write, right? So M is a rotation, it's a rotation, right? A rotation with the center 0, 0. This is origin, right? The center will be 0, 0, right? Angle of 10, 90 degrees, clockwise direction. Clockwise what? Direction. But we have to, first of all, that's why for you to answer this question here, you have to go back to the base unit and compare the base unit with the new one you have now. So you do it and you check and see, right? What is it? Because the A came down and the B came down, right? And they move clockwise. So you realize that when you see this one, you realize that it's a rotation, right? Then you pick it up. By rotation of how many? 90 degrees. Which direction? Clockwise direction. Because they ask you to describe it fully. Are we clear? Negative. Right, repeat. If I'm going the opposite direction, that'll be negative. So we get negative b plus vy. Vy will be a. So that's the answer for the first part. Wy is equal to wv plus vy. So wv is opposite of vw. So we put negative b plus a. We get that?
Sir, can you repeat?
Yes, sir.
The wv is opposite. Look at the arrow. You see that where the arrow is going? The arrow was going up. Am I right?
Yes.
And you are coming down. You want to go down. So if you're going down, that will be what?
Negative.
Right. So when you're going the opposite the direction, that'd be negative. But if it's going the same direction, that'd be positive. That's the only thing you need to know. Right. Now remember that when you have wy, you want to find wy, but you go around, you move from w to v, then v to y. That's the direction. After I get to the direction, you write your answer now. You follow through? You still don't get
Yes,
it? Now, remember now, for you to ws now, they say that a ws and sy, so this one here, this side here is going to be 1/3 of the answer we got a while ago, negative b plus a. And this part here would have been 2/3 of the answer we got, negative b plus a. So this is a. The second question they ask ws. So ws, which is w2s, would have been 1/3 bracket negative b plus a. Do you see that?
Yes.
Sir, can go over that one, please?
They ask you, they give us information that WSSY is 1 to 2, right? So we established that WS is will be 1/3 and SY will be 2/3. Now, so
Yes, sir.
WS, everything WS is negative b plus a. Remember that, right? Now, if I want to find WS will be 1/3 of that answer. So it will be 1/3 negative b plus a. And WS would have been 2/3 negative b plus a. They only ask for WS. Look at it. They ask for what? WS. So WS will be 1/3 negative b plus a. Follow through?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, then what they ask now, S what? SX, right? So how do I find this one now? We are going to draw a line from the S to the X. Then we are going to look at it now, right? From the S to the X. Then I will draw the arrow on this. This is what I'm looking for. So for me to find that now, look at it. I want to find, so I say SX. I'll move from S to Y. Follow me, S to Y. I will travel on a triangle plus Y X. Now, before I do anything, remember that from year to year is B. That means when you're going up here to, it should be B. From this side to this side is A. So when you're going this direction, it's also going to be A. Follow?
Yes, sir.
So when I come here now, right, I need to find WSY. SY is going down. So SY will be 2/3. So I'll put 2/3, open bracket, negative B plus A, right? Plus YX. YX would have been B. I'll put this over 1, but I'm going to simplify this part now. So I will put this one as LCM, which will be 3. So when I put this one to be LCM here, right? 3 going to 3 give me 1 time. So I'm multiplying this one by 2. So left with 2 bracket negative B plus A. Then 1, this one goes to give me 3 times. So give me plus 3B. Then work this one out. I'll get negative 2B plus 2A plus 3B all over 3. Then I simplify this part here now. So I get 2A plus 3B minus 2B over 3. So this will give me 2A plus B over 3 as my final answer. So remember, if you want to find S, X, you can move from S to W and W to X, or you can move from S to Y, then Y to X. Now, I know that the arrows here is supposed to be coming down, right? So it's easier for me to go down and just go this way. It's easier than if I should go SW, I have to put a negative sign. I don't want to work with negative. So I went down to make my life easier. But as I said, somebody could have used SW and WX and get back the same answer. But we use SY and YX. We clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I want to find we are doing the last question. If R is the midpoint, right? R is the what? Midpoint of VW. Prove that RSX is collinear. Anybody know what is the meaning of collinear? Anybody here know the meaning of collinear? Collinear means straight line, right? Collinear means straight line. So if you don't know it, write it down. Collinear means what? Straight what? Line. All right. Collinear means straight what? Straight line. So we are here. So let me ask a question now, everybody. Watch this. If from V to W is 1B, and they say R is the midpoint, so I will put R here. If I put R here, right, from V to R, what will I get? If everything is 1B, if it's half, what will I put? Zero 0.5B, and here be 0.5B. Am I right? Everybody see that?
Yes, sir. But can you do it as a fraction as well, or just a decimal?
No, okay, let me use the fraction. Right. Fraction have been better for me right now. So this one would have been half B, and here going to be also half B. All right. Then for me to prove that is collinear, right? I just want to make a point here. For me to prove that is collinear, first of all, collinear means straight line. Collinear, right, means straight line. So sometimes they'll ask you for prove that it's a straight line, the same thing. Right. So first of all, we have to establish that they have a common point, right? The common point here would have been this point, which is S. So our common point will be S. Everybody understand that? Then
Yes, sir.
after we know that the common point is S, the common point is S now, we have to prove that they are parallel. I need to prove, right? I need to prove that RS, R to S is parallel to R to X. Now, I need to prove that RS from R to S here, right? So let me just clean it and you see it again. So remember that it's actually, let me use different color. So if R is the midpoint, it goes from here, then goes to that, and goes through this, and go through that. Everybody see that? Now, so it's your duty to find out that from this point to this point, from R to X, is parallel to, from the small part here, from the beginning R to S, is parallel to the R to X. So what I am going to do, they never asked me to find RS. So I'm going to find RS first. So I'm going to work out what is RS. RS will be RB, RW plus WS. So RW it be half B plus WS, which is 1/3 of negative 1/3 negative B plus A. All right. So we find the LCM here, which would have been 6. 2 going to this will give me 2 going to 6 will give me
3.
3. So 3 times will give me 3B. This one gives me 2 bracket negative B plus 1 A. I'll work it out. I get 3B minus 2B plus 2A over 6. So this will give me 1B. This give me B plus 2A over 6. Right. So the first part will give me this from RS will give me, which will be 1 over 6 open bracket B plus 2A, the same thing. All right. Now, my next focus is to find what is RT. So I'm going to find RT now. RX, sorry. I'm going to find what is RX. So I come in RX now. RX will be equals to RW plus WX. So RW will give me half B plus WX, which is A. Yeah, because if this side is A, here it's going to be A, and put this over 1. We find the LCM will give me 2. So this will give me B plus 2. This one give me 2, yes, plus 2A. Right. So I can represent this also as 1 over 2 open bracket B plus 2A. I want to observe this and this one here. One is 1/6, the other one is half, right? So if you have half and 1/6, right? If I have half and 1/6, and I want to find out which one is bigger, 1/6 or half?
Half.
Half is bigger. All right. So let's do something. Can we, when we divide, let's try, we are going to try something here, right? Okay, so what I'm saying here, if you're able to prove that Rx is equal to 3 times of Rs, then we can say that they are parallel They are parallel. Right. Now, if they are parallel, they have the same gradient. They have the same gradient, right? So what do we say here? Right. What am I trying to say here? I can say that therefore, right, R, they have a common point S, and I've proved that RS is parallel to what? RX. Therefore, RSX is collinear. Collinear. And we only try there as my final answer, right?